All right, I think we're back. Hello, hello again. Thank you to everyone that stuck around after our time shenanigans there with Spider-Man versus Kingpin. So now we're gonna go ahead and transport through time and check out the world of Gargoyles here, which hopefully, if you all have seen my AGDQ run, you all enjoyed that run with awesome commentary by Elrock, one of RGL's own, Elrock617 in chat. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right into this here. And Evo, I saw what you typed. I got you, man. We definitely will meet up. I promise. We will arrange something. All right. So yeah. With that said, let me go ahead and 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So now go ahead and utilizing one of our what I call like four main techniques in this game. One of them is the Juggernaut run. We'll use that a lot during this run to just take hits to the chest like that and keep moving. So yeah, that technique will be used a lot during the speed run here just to get through a lot of the enemies. I was a huge fan of this cartoon back in the day, and when they first released this game on Sega Channel, like I was all over it. Like, of course, I was dying left and right. Like, I couldn't beat it back then like I can today, but I think it helped me get to where I am today with this game. So utilizing one of the other techniques, I just performed this jump off this spike here where you want to cancel the hit stun animation that Goliath normally goes through when he receives damage in the air, sort of like that. So yeah, as soon as you receive damage in the air, you do a double jump, and it'll allow you to continue to um, pretty much advance for it. And like running through those enemies right there, that was a little bit of the Juggernaut run. The third technique I like to think of is sort of making sure you cancel your animation when Goliath lands on the ground, because otherwise he'll like plant his feet and like sort of get stuck. If you use the third technique, you can sort of keep your momentum moving forward, and it sort of works in tandem with the Juggernaut run. So we're using the second technique to climb this wall here. Normally you're supposed to alternate back and forth between the walls, but we just climbed one side of the wall and used the second technique to jump up the spikes. So now we take out Mini Thor here with a few well-timed air dives. And now we're off to the second stage. And then again, using the Juggernaut run, we can run across the fire here, the lava. I'm wondering if RGL is still in lava awareness like we were during RG Love, our other fantastic marathon that we had. So avoid these little spikes that protrude from these hanging points here. And we're going to do this vent skip here just to continue forward. Normally you're supposed to grab like these balls attached to like a chain to open up the vents or close them to help you proceed forward, but we skipped it on that last stage. So here we're going to grab it there as well. And on this particular section of this level, we're about to do 2 skips to just proceed through without having to take a longer path. And this is the second skip right there. Using the Juggernaut run again. Oops, I missed that. Opening to ride this fireball using the second technique. And by doing that, we were able to avoid a longer route, climbing across these rookery eggs, which look like demonic strawberries to me. Alright. So, air dive on this guy, do some tickle strats, and we cause him to laugh to death here. And that's that. Now we jump to the year 1995, modern day New York, and deal with a number of robots that want to stop us from moving forward. At this point right here, this upcoming room right here is usually instant death. I utilize the Juggernaut run just to run through those guys. Oh, and if I failed to mention, the Juggernaut run is initiated just by like leaving the ground, just jump, and then as soon as you land, just hold a direction. It's as simple as that. Got a nice little boost off that pipe there. Getting a little harassed by these guys. One thing you gotta be careful of in this game, sometimes Goliath doesn't like to grab hold of like these swinging handholds, so you gotta hope and pray that he doesn't miss them. So this section here is a long vertical climb of these handholds I was just talking about. What I like to do is just as I'm trying to grab one, I like to pause right next to it for a minute, or like a brief second, and then I grab it. Like you can see like that. And if you go up this area pretty fast, you can avoid the flying sentries. You don't have they don't cause too much of a issue. So now we're off to our third boss here, Scorpion boss. And for this stage for casual runners can be pretty deadly because you have to take out all of the Scorpion's appendages, which include the ones on the side here. And you can fall off the elevator and then have to start this fight over. Alright, so now that we did that, we can jump in and tickle the Scorpion to death as well. Ow, ow, ow. Come on, take that tickle. Alright, got him. Oops, I did not mean to pause that. Alright, now we're on to this train section where if you haven't quite caught the Juggernaut run before, you see it in full effect here. As I'm just running, and normally those things are supposed to knock Goliath back, but you can just continue to run right through them. I like to toss in some shoulder charges here just to save some more time here and there. Ouch, ouch. I didn't initiate the Juggernaut run, so I got caught up by this enemy here. So even though my health is full, I'm just going to grab that item right there. Just because I knew I had to take damage from that guy coming into the boss fight here. Now this is the hardest boss fight of the game, casually and for the speed run, because these guys like to just do whatever they want, and just like that, one of them just disappeared, and I have to wait here now for him to come back, which there he is. Come on. Come on. All right, and you got 3 sets to go through. So once we get through this final set, then we get to fight the boss himself. Other than their flight patterns not being that great, so far it's a good fight because usually they'll take way more health off of me. And we tickle him some and also get in some dive attacks as well. Alright, and now we're off to the final level, which pretty much utilizing all the various techniques of the game, just run through all these robots here, keep it moving. Do a nice little shoulder charge. And then now we're soon coming up to one of the harder techniques in the current run of this game. So I want to get up this wall without dying, hopefully. Okay, no, I couldn't get it, but that's fine. So using the iframes, we'll go ahead, climb this wall, and on the next stage, I like to plant my feet to make sure that once I die here, I'll respawn here. And I take the intentional death so that I get the iframes again to attempt to scale this wall. So now we go ahead, we climb this wall, and once the invincibility wears off, then you try to use the second technique to ride the flames. And we made it. First try, nice. This room, you can ride these platforms. I've experimented to where, like, I think you can skip most of these platforms, but it's really dangerous. Like, involves like clinging onto the ceiling and then using the furnaces as damage boosts to get across that first section there. I don't know how much of a time save it really is though. So for right now, we just take the platforms. These set of platforms here are dangerous because once they get to the middle of their travels, they like to like drop. The platform will sort of open up, you can say, and like if you're riding it, it'll attempt to drop you into the lava or the pit. So now this is sort of a repeat of that vertical city section, but there's a pit at the bottom there. And so, oh, get off. We took that climb nice and smooth, but now I'm trying to get up here so I can skip this section. I'm being trolled by this flame here. Wow. Alright, that's fine. Let's see where they spawn me. Okay, so now that I respawned here, what you're supposed to do as part of the run is run through this gauntlet here of flamethrowers. And then once we're in this next section, to avoid having to go through a good chunk of the level, to avoid having to go through a good chunk of the level, we take an intentional death here. I was hoping to respawn right on this platform like that, so that I now can use the iframes to climb this wall. And now I just skipped 1/3 of the level. Then we clip through these wires here. You're not supposed to do that normally, but we clipped through those wires and we skipped like 2/3 of the level now. Get up here, smash through this, and now we're off to the final boss fight. So on this fight, you want to use your strongest attack, which is either the air dive or the tickle, the grab on that Eye of Odin there, because it'll impact the final fight with Demona at the top of the mountain here. Oh, and also another thing that Kavik found was that if you get up this mountain without taking out these dogs, these robotic dogs, you can soft lock the game. Like, basically you can damage boost off the spikes to get towards the top. But if you get there where Demona's supposed to spawn, she won't be there, I think, and you'll soft lock the game, having to start over. So now we're up here. Demona goes through her animation, and now we're into the first form of the boss fight. And you want to just do some air dives onto the Eye of Odin here. Oh. I like to zigzag back and forth. It feels like it does more damage. I don't know if it does though. And now we're in the second form where she flies around like a lunatic, and it will take just 2 air dives to take her out. And timer ends on the final hit, the final air dive, or second air dive. Oh. Come on. Oh, gosh. There we go. In time. Oh boy. So yep, that is Gargoyles. And thank you everybody for the GGs. So yeah, a huge fan of the cartoon. I don't know, I think my favorite characters from it were Puck, if anybody remembers Puck, who was Data from Star Trek The Next Generation, Brent Spinner. I enjoyed, I don't know if everybody knows, but like pretty much a good chunk of the Star Trek The Next Generation cast was on, provided voices for the characters on the show. It's like one of my favorite cartoons of all time. And it's probably cause that cast was on there, because I love that TV show too. So with that, I think we'll have a quick break again, and we'll dive into 3 Dirty Dwarves.